Yeah, we're just gonna start with a song that was requested earlier by my friend, who might have recognized that last song as a hello to them in some kind of way. All right, man. And the request was for Blackbird by the Beatles. Man, I don't really play a lot of these songs too often, but ultimate guitar is pretty good when you just want to play a song and not fuck it all up, excuse my language. As long as the guy that wrote it all down is not one of these dudes trying to hit you for being a little bit memory impaired. I really like it when they write the chords down for all the verses, not just the ones you could have picked it all up in. Sorry, bud, not everyone. Okay. No, see, Blackbird. I do have memory. I'm not gonna apologize. So let's see here. Hey, son. If anything's too loud or too quiet, you've got the ability to speak up at any time. Don't just sit there and let it be all messed up. Okay. Okay, you're part of this too, man. You can't hear it. The fuck's it? What's the point? Blackbirds singing, but blackbirds singing in the dead of night. Take these broken wings and oh yeah, they hit me on this one. Oh, to fly only Lord, they're waiting to rise. Yeah, I'm not that many chords rich, but blackbird singing in the night. Take these sunken eyes and learn to see. You I waiting with more to run. What do you call it? Uh, don't make a total ass of yourself, Brian, but maybe practice for next time and it'll be better when you play it next time instead of just nails on a chalkboard for everyone that hears. No, it wasn't that bad, but I got some chords to pick up so that I don't do it less justice than I'd like. I like to sing songs that not everyone's gonna expect here. Like songs I want to sing and almost making it country. Not almost. I don't know why I got this country thing, man. It's not going away either. Let's see. And if you want to chime in with a request, I got to be on the page over there. Is anyone here listening for reasons other than to see if they could laugh at me before I'm done? Hey, that's okay if you do, man. Hopefully it's because I was trying to be funny, or at least I did something funny that wasn't like, ha ha, you fell and hit your head kind of funny. We'll see what we can do. So I wanted to cover some more stuff about the Civil War today. 'cause it's something I think a lot about, like, as a guy that was born in the South, and I didn't go to school there, um, but I was there just long enough to wonder what the heck that was all about and why people make such a big deal about it, you know? I mean, the slave thing had to go. You already covered that. But after that, like, why couldn't we just finish those talks? Well, there's a reason they were in a hurry to get them, you know, socked up in the way they wanted them to be and all that. Fortunately. Fortunately, depending on how you look at it. Um, but a good sort of survey of what might have been to just even halfway get an idea of what could have been good, if ever there was something good or less good to point out other than the stuff we know, you know? Ain't no reason to get feelings hurt. Like, why would anybody be mad about throwing a couple more pieces to the puzzle together just to get a bigger picture on the table? You know, highly doubt that anybody would be mad about that. But you bring up certain parts of that picture, man, and some people are gonna be like, "Oh no, hell no, y'all, oh no, y'all," you know, like, and I get it because if I didn't learn that much about it, I might assume what was gonna be next. Too. My eyes are open. Oh, my eyes are open wide. By the wind, made it from the I was a world outside. Oh, is this another one I'm gonna make an ass of myself? Yeah, screw that song. Screw that song. I could change the key. I just don't want to sing it like freaking Nancy. It's getting there too. I'll leave this one there. Um, yeah, if you're gonna do something, Brian, you better do it, man. I ain't the kind of run away. Ain't the kind of make you stay. I'm just gonna break your heart, you know, and you'll break mine. I know this part. I think it's time to run away. Shit. Why do I pick myself up to get thrown down? Keep kicking my own ass to come back another round. It feels like I can't help myself. We're setting up to fail. If you need me, I'll be wasting my time chasing my tail. Chasing my tail. So go on ahead and end things first. 'Cause I tend to wait until it hurts. The version of me that you get will always be the second best. I hope that you don't wait to see my works. Why do I pick myself up just to get thrown down? Keep kicking my own ass just to come back another round. Feel like I can't help myself, setting up to fail. If you need me, I'll be wasting my time chasing my tail. Yeah, chasing my tail. Hey, you guys talk shit in the comments if I suck, all right? Or at least let me know if you can hear it. Okay. I'm not doing too bad, am I? That's fine. I don't care. But like, just let me know you got a pulse or something. And I don't have to send out a search party. So honey, don't feel sorry for me. I can do that all by myself. I keep running around in circles. till you leave me standing still. Mm, shit. Why do I pick myself up just to get thrown down? Keep kicking my own ass just to come back another round. It feels like I can't help myself with setting up a fail. If you need me, I'll be wasting my time. Stepping on my tail. All right. Let's see. What else we got? We're not going to sit here and wank on about music all day. If you got something to request, you better put it in now. I see there's 2 people listening. Uh, it's pretty cool. When I had 5 listeners the other day, I was kind of naive to think that they were all listening at the same time and they weren't going away. But that's just kind of a boneheaded Brian moment that sinks in a little bit later, past the time when I need that motivation. So I really was thankful, even if y'all left after like 2 seconds, for showing up, man. So let's just get this thing done real quick. Oh, if you're not gonna pick one, I guess I gotta pick one. I don't want to do one I did yesterday. Ah, man, we can't be doing these melancholy tunes all the time. I swear, that's all they ever write shit for. All right, so Morgan Wallen, I really like this guy, man. I can't stop playing his songs. I don't know this Miami one yet, though. Yeah, so what is up with these guys writing 30 songs on an album? Are they just trying to add value, or is that the new standard? What's up with that? Like, are you allowed to put an album out if you don't have 30 songs anymore? Remember that was like User Illusion 1 and 2? That wasn't just one album. Like, hey, take it easy, bud. One album? Chill out. Other people got to catch up, man. You can't be doing that. All right, you know what? Let's just do this thing. I'm not okay. Barely getting by. Losing track of day. Losing sleep at night. I'm not okay. I'm hanging on the rail. So if you say I'm fine, I'll probably tell you to go right on to hell. You're lying. I know I can't be the only one who's holding on for dear life. And I know God knows when it's all said and done. Okay, it's all gonna be all right, especially without all the hot dogging. It's all okay. I'm gonna be all right. Even if you gotta lie to yourself in the mirror, man, that little bit of smiling in the morning might just kick things off, right, man? By the time you get to the end of the day, it might be real. I woke up today, almost stayed in bed. Had the devil on my back and voices in my head. Some days it ain't all bad, and some days it all gets worse. Some days I swear I'm better off just laying in the dirt. I know I can't be the only one who's holding on for dear life. But God knows I know when it's all said and done. I'm not okay, it's all gonna be alright. It's not okay for wrong to be okay. Yeah, how about one more to warm it up? Because I'm still trying to give myself the feeling like everything's gonna be all right and stuff here. So let's just get that sort of covered here, right? Let's play something that's not a drag. Please pick a damn song, people. All you got to do is type a song in, man, and see if I can play it. And try not to be too freaking not too hasty about it. I mean, you really reach a little bit and find out maybe I know more than you thought I did. Let's see. See, I wanted to go and like play Alice in Chains or something. Whatever we do, we're doing one more and that's it. If you don't pick it, I'm picking it. Since I already looked to see if you pick it and there was nothing there, I'm picking it. So you can start thinking about the outro. There ain't gonna be a whole lot of thinking around this one, whatever that means. Okay. Chords, yeah. Ever since I heard, man, I don't know why, ever since Ozzy passed away, I've been sitting here playing Mama I'm Coming Home like it's country. And I'm not feeling really sorry about that either. I'm gonna do it my way if that's all right with you. So, yeah, I get that. Hey, come on, man. Gotta look up a different one. So you got like 15 versions of the same song sometimes. It just be a little bit cumbersome. Like if we just had one, yeah, so maybe a 3 day, what's that? 3 Days Grace or something, that band? Hang on a second. Something a little more happy sounding at least. All right, yeah, it's taking all way too long. I mean, does anybody wonder if I even have all my marbles in the bag or what, man? Come on, dude. Bry. Here. Oh, okay. We'll go to the Ozzy Osbourne list. We'll just pick it out of there. Okay, dude, that'll work. Good thing we had our mental ballerina slippers on, so we got up on them toes, you know what I mean? I mean, sometimes desperate times call for desperate measures, especially how high you can get up on your tippy toe when you need to, at least mentally. So for that little reach that had to happen there. Sometimes it's a bit much for a guy to just do it without that extra little bit. If you don't know what I'm talking about, sit down. Just try to listen and get something out of it, for crying out loud. Where's it? Man, they don't even have an alphabetical order anymore. This is bullshit. Sorry. Ozzy, dude. I'm sorry, man. Hang on. So I had a lady friend who talks to ghosts quite often to put things rather plainly. And after she was hanging out with me for a while, and after the death of Ozzy Osbourne, she let it be known that he came through quite a few times, which I found kind of interesting. I don't know if he was stopping by for who he was stopping by for. Like, hey, you just stopping through, huh? It's like, what do you want to tell me? I should kick myself in the Jimmy next time I want to try singing or something? Like, no, he never had nothing bad to say. He just kind of hung out and was cool, man. Uh, Whatever that was worth. I know that sounds pretty crazy, but you know, it's interesting when somebody announces that a famous guy's ghost is in your house, like whether or not it's real or not, like you kind of try to, you're like, hey, like you need something to drink? You know, you good? Want to change the channel on the TV? You know, um, No, he was good, man. He just wanted to watch black and white TV and chill. That's usually what I would do if I had the TV on purpose anyway. So, no energy here. We'll get on with it. I'll get up. I'm sorry for taking so long getting started here. If you're still here, thanks a lot for sticking around. If you're here the other day, really appreciate it. If you not sure what the hell you're here for, but you have the ability to share this and you're willing to stick your neck out there for a guy that may make you look like a total asshole, I really appreciate that. I might make you look good too. I don't know. Just have to see how it goes today. Mm. Times have changed. Times are strange. Here I come, but I ain't the same. Mama, I'm coming home. Time gone by seemed to be could have been a better friend to me. Mama, I'm coming home. Took me in, you drove me out, yeah, you had me hypnotized, yeah. Lost and found and turned around by the fire in your eyes. You made me cry, you told me lies. I can't stand to say goodbye. And I'm coming home. Could be right, I could be wrong. It's been so bad, it's been so long. I'm coming. Yeah, selfish love, and we're both alone right before the fall. Yeah. I'm gonna take this heart stone. I just gotta have it all. Fucking Brian, I seen your face 100 times. Every day we've been apart. I don't care about that sunshine. Cause mama's coming home. Yeah, I'm coming home. Mm-hmm. And now you. Took me in, you drove me out, yeah, you had me hypnotized, yeah. Lost and found, turned around by the fire in your eyes. See your face 1,000 times. Every day we've been apart. I don't care about the sunshine. Mama, I'm coming home. So that song's kind of got significance to me because one, I didn't fuck it up too terribly bad. Today, I don't know, maybe you think so, but I thought it was somewhere, maybe C minus at the worst. But I typically don't try to judge stuff if I can help it. Man, I feel like I'm a little bit on the way home myself. I don't know if he was or what he meant by all that, but shit, if I could ever get it 1 foot on a fucking part of home, man, that'd be cool. But usually, if you get 1 foot in your shoe in your home, that's all that matters. Because that way you can put your foot down wherever you go, and you'll just be home there. It's kind of like when you put your foot in your shoe and it's church. You don't have to build a damn fortress around it. I mean, you can if you want to, but pretty sure it's right there. I don't know if you guys don't understand what I'm talking about. And if you don't, man, feel free to tell me you don't have any clue what the hell I'm talking about. Because that helps me know if you're getting it or not. Clearly, you might not be if nobody says nothing. And please don't just sit there and act like you get it. If I am just tossing word salad and doing a bad job, and, I could sit here and sing a couple more warm up songs. But the truth is, there's reasons why I started the play button in this whole felt like doing a podcast thing. And I was not joking when I hit that fucking button, even though I wasn't sure which one to push exactly. And I figured it out on this little app thing on Substack. And, if you get a new enough phone and don't yell right in the microphone or have a bunch of assholes in the background trying to make noise and all that, I mean, it actually sounds pretty good. I listened to some of it. And the neat thing is when you do these on Substack, Substack goes and crawls your stuff like with the AI or something like that and picks out these nifty little sections that you can post on shorts or doggone Instagram or whatever. Like little highlights of when Brian might have not been a total ass for the, you know, where he was maybe the regressive majority of the hour or whatever. But no, we're not gonna be here that long, dude. Get out of here. We're not sticking around with that. Dude, nails on the chalkboard. Better stop. You know what I mean? Let's get on with it. Okay, so we got some stuff to cover here. And I've been heavy on the clown show nonsense. And I'm starting to look in the mirror saying, hey, man, you're not really ashamed to say this stuff, are you? I'm like, well, Brian, no. Like, well, do you have to keep circling back to all that clown show stuff? Because it does kind of get old. I mean, it's cool when you characterize stuff and all that. It kind of helps people pick it up. But when you're just sort of circling back to be a little bit weird, I think that might be all it is. Like, hey, dude, thanks for telling me now. Well, since I was the only one speaking up and it was half of me talking, I had to wait till things were over to do it. So, hey, sorry about that. If you were annoyed by the last couple little iterations of the Whispering Power podcast that we've been inventing as we go. Okay, but one thing we're not going to invent as we go are the parts of history that you should not take at all for granted if we tell you a damn thing. Okay, because I am not a history scholar. I am not even a history major. Matter of fact, uh, I can hardly remember what I said a couple minutes ago. If you think that this guy knows any history at all and you want to bang on the table like you got some of it from him, first of all, you need to head down to the gas station, get you a couple more of them pre rolls, and smoke at least one of them in the near future because smoke another one, buddy. I am not any of that shit. All right. So cool your jets if you start talking like I know what I'm talking about. All right. That is not happening. And then maybe I know just enough to put a few things together and be called an asshole before I make sure everybody knows this is just a mockumentary about a clown show guy. Okay. If it starts to sound like a real thing, don't get your undies in the bundle because it ain't real. And if it sounds too close to something that you're familiar with, and for some odd reason it triggers you, I understand because I get triggered by weird shit too. You can get over it, man, because we got constructive things to do besides him and Ha about whether it's real and whether it's good and, all that kinds of stuff. Like, sometimes when people talk about Do y'all know what the blank war is about? Well, yeah, I know what it was about. All right, well, first of all, what blank do you think we should fill in? I know. Well, it's the only one you've been talking about. It's the Civil War. Okay. Now, why people want to spin back around and talk about wars all the time, I have no idea. If history were going to repeat itself, it sure would be nice if it didn't do it in this living room. First of all, that'd be fucked up. I'm sorry for cursing, man. PG-13, get the little ears out. And if you happen to not be able to, you can always let a guy know in the comments. I'll do my best to turn the cursing down or eliminate it if I can help. Okay? You know, I may not be getting tipped $1 a day, but at least I would have the knowledge that I have a reason not to swear. That'd be good. Hey, so Civil War, man. There's a lot going on there. Like, what in the world was the states' rights stuff y'all were talking about before we all know it was about slavery and they just abolished slavery and cleaned the hell up? Okay? What else was there? Do we even have to talk about it? Well, I suppose since I took the opportunity to start getting dramatically uppity about it, constructively, if anyone could ever be. I'm not sure how that works, man. But at some point, sometimes when we do a little thingy thing like that, it's supposed to be constructive and people start getting uppity about it. And the good news, they're not here to get loud around my microphone so I can keep talking and running on about whatever the hell it is I'm going to be getting to or getting at if I do, if I ever do. Okay? States' rights was a lot to talk about besides just letting slaves go because second industrial revolution, a lot of machines, a lot of combustion engine, steam power is kind of is a probably a couple swear words we could stick in there. As far as the your men were gonna feel if you were in the South trying to turn out another kind of wealth flow from the raw material that you were picking or mining or whatever it was. Okay. If you're trying to get anything out of this thing, this whole pile of stuff you could get, now it's a little warmer down south. So if I was going to build a factory for the purposes of making things that had value to provide to whoever the heck saw value in them, one thing that I have to consider is that it didn't matter if I had the 4 foot, nothing, 80 something pound soaking wet lady that was just proud to curse at all the freaking big old giant guys and run circles around him because he didn't overheat as bad. Whether I got my 7'2", you know, basically like walking dump truck as far as all the work you could see him do throughout the day. What we find out though is that when we start freaking cheering those guys on, like somehow they're supposed to be Superman, they start trying to be Superman at a pace that ain't fair to nobody and end up wearing their parts out. And that's kind of messed up. And one of the things we learned, if you ever worked in a factory or something like that, is you don't do that to people anymore at all. Not anymore. Okay. If you're repeatedly, doing a motion, if you're bending over funny, like that's all bad. Like, that's that's my star player. You better stand him up. Okay, and obviously, who the boss is and who's getting bossed or whatever. Really, if you're hurting yourself, it's kind of beside the point, man. Because I hope somebody's bossing me around if I'm about to do that. And I know, if I start getting bad form, I'm gonna feel it at the end of the day. Okay, it don't matter what color I am. It don't matter how skinny, how fat I am. I mean, I may have complications of how I'm gonna do that form, but I've seen a lot of people with a lot of extra weight on their bones move that weight around like it wasn't shit all damn day. Just saying. All right, I don't know what that had to do with Civil War, but just saying. There's plenty of people that can move it. They can move it. All right, move it. Like that one song. Um, we got to the point where we don't need to pick who's big, who's small, who's short, who's tall. The only reason we really would was if you need like tiny fingers to get up in something, it's going to make it a lot easier to work with versus getting all clumsy with it. Or if you got a tall shelf or a short, area that's just going to be A lot less injury prone, a lot less wearing those parts out for no damn reason. If you just work your men or your woman or your people right, whatever, they, them, come on, let's cover all the bases just for GP. Okay. Try not to be mad. Okay. Because that's what the whole moral of the story is. Hey, let's try to get somewhere. Let's try not to be mad. Because just in case there is something else to talk about, what the hell was it? I could even try Googling it since I have a resource in front of me. Some people call it a computer. And I'm not even trying to be a smartass about it. Okay. So what else? Now, of course, we're going to the boilerplate ass Google search. Now, what they'll tell us? Well, let's see. Let's see what the mainstream tells us. Um, what were the main points of contention? I know sometimes you just, like I felt a little jokey, man, but there's sometimes where you just gotta lay it down and not say sorry till you're done, and not be sorry when you're done either. Because if you got something to put together, man, let's get the thing out there, man. So, what was the main point of uh, the talks pertaining to states and states' rights? Man, those Bluetooth keyboards you can get for your phone are really handy, man. I mean, not trying to call myself clumsy or anything, but you can read between the lines. State rights. Let's just see what this said. States' rights importance. Powers retained by the regional governments of a federal union. We're already going in there. Just back off for a minute. The core concept of states' rights is rooted in. You want to let me tell you what I think it is. What to me, what the old way it was like if the state could be a jury, and if one guy said no, that's all it took, right? Hey man, ain't so sure about this. Hate to do it to you, Robert, excuse me. But no, we ain't having this. Sorry, buddy. Sorry. Any other day, man. Not today. Not that. Not now. Okay. Well, what if that's what it was like when certain things happen and one state could just call it off, like, nope, no good. We're gonna have to revisit why it might be good because I don't think it is. And if it ain't, we're gonna scratch it off our list of things that are, or at least for an amount of time, so it can regain some of what it might have been good for, or I don't know what. That's basically Confederacy. Is one guy steps out saying, "Hey, nope, sorry, bud, no." Okay, that's all it is. At one point, I had read what Confederate was Confederacy, and it had sent some unlawful uprising against the U.S. government. Kind of made me feel funny. And is that really what it was? I think Confederacy is just a sort of a way of being. It wasn't like a label to put on anybody other than the people being that way. Let's say. Okay, so 10th Amendment of the U.S. Constitution withholds that any powers not explicitly delegated to the federal government are reserved for the states or the people. It sure would feel a lot nicer if we had the ability to just stop the press when we thought things weren't going good. Like things are unsafe. Stop it. Hey man, what'd you do that for? Well, Johnny was about to lose a thumb. Oh, never mind then. Johnny, got your thumb still? Like, yep, good to go. All right, well, let's do our safety checks and then get back to work. So, debates pertaining to states' rights address the balance of power. That was very important between state government and the federal government and have appeared throughout the U.S. history regarding issues including slavery, civil rights, education, and healthcare. I could probably think of a couple more, like uh, when a certain group of people want us to go and shake metal in the air and sometimes pull things that go bang. Like, is that always good? Is that always necessary? Oh no, he's not running in saying yes to it. Oh man, we're gonna have to pull the old young ones on the TV trick. It worked in a couple places, let's say. Every time we want them to go to war and they don't want to go, you know what we do? They say dead babies on TV a couple times, and then the motherfucker's gone. You know they do. And if you weren't paying attention last time, check next time they are a little bit on the fence about it and see what they do. And you'll be like, you just heard me say it. Man, really? Like, so do we want to go or do we just get sold on going? Like, what is this for? Of course, a lot of time you know what it's for. Usually, a lot of time, there's things that got to stop in order for the rest of the things to be good. Whatever the heck that means, whatever place it is what it is. Okay. And is what it is ain't one of them things you can just say over, you know, so many atrocities happening for no good reason. Like, there better be some kind of reason. Well, our sponsor, Unilever, has a lot of territory over there occupied. You know what I mean? Like, what do you mean, dude? We're talking about the stuff I spread on my toast, right? Well, more of the stuff you wash your back with or your undercarriage. But yes, also, I guess if you believe it's not butter, which I have to tell you, it is most definitely not. It sometimes would be something you spread on your toast too. Why they want to do washing your back and spreading on toast, I don't know. It just doesn't seem to go together for me. It ain't really about the Civil War, but it is kind of peculiar. All right, man. There's some things about that whole letting people go thing where all of a sudden, instead of a couple of bits of cement on the ground where everyone could stand on top of, and if they were playing musical chairs, they could just as soon hop off and not run out of places to be. You know, um, they could not run out of places to be. Now, if you're, what do you do? Like play musical puppets or musical, some kind of mobile spin in the air, hopefully in balance, gets a little tricky. Tying all kinds of stuff in knots. The music ain't playing right on the doodad up there. It's all kinds of messed up, man. And then we're sitting here trying to reconcile the fact that some of us only believe in one part of the thing being the way it is because of how it was when they got everybody to go and start throwing metal at each other, for whatever reason. It didn't mean it was good or bad. It just mean that's where we were. That's where we are. And how we could be there at this point in time with any head left to scratch in terms of why didn't they just lay that down for us? Like, hey man, I know a lot of people been saying what it was all about, and for the most part, they're totally right. We just want to make sure y'all got the rest of these pieces because there was a little bit more to your history that we could easily have missed. Okay, and one thing might just be understanding why everybody made those mad faces when they looked in those areas where buildings used to be. Okay, my guess is because there was shit there they liked that made life easier. And once it was gone, that was a reason to make funny wrinkled faces that weren't so funny. Okay. And like I was saying yesterday, and I was kind of characterizing a little more, you just try to understand like what was all this being bent out of shape about? Like, first of all, now hang on. I personally think that anyone that has an emotional reaction to certain things being brought up about the Civil War has every right to, especially if some of their relatives passed any of that story on, and it wasn't necessarily the best feeling to be shared. Because I can only imagine with these asshole people and they're having something to say about all these things that used to be good that were not anymore because they weren't there. Like how beautiful it would be if we did the same thing with everything they just happen to make disappear in and around the time of the doggone what do you call that, World Fair or something. A lot of interesting head scratchy type stuff there. Civil War, burning down buildings. Like, hey man, that ain't gonna cripple the South, is it? That's not stopping them from getting money, is it? Like, well, no, but you see how it looks a little different, don't you? Well, there's a lot of things that look different down here. Okay, well, you following orders, you probably be helping me burn the rest of them damn things down. All right, Sarge. I don't know what the hell that's all for, but I guess you'll have to explain it to me later. And what it turned out is that some of that architecture might have looked a little too much like something they left on the other side of the ocean, where it should have only been one side of the ocean with shit like that. Okay. Unless they were building it new, trying to make it look like something that was over there. Not something that was here already. What are you, crazy? That's going to raise all kinds of questions and concerns about, the whole entire history of human civilization, modern day as we know it. All right. I personally would like to get on the dogma and not have to, burn any bridges on the way there. You don't mind? Okay. Well, actually, it looks like we got a few here burned, Sarge. Oh, we do. Well, you think Napoleon for not showing up that we have to do that? Apparently, there's some importance to burning these Roman-looking buildings down. I didn't even know they had them over here like that. I don't know what these engines been doing, but apparently they got some skills. Okay. Now, what what he didn't know, the guy that was just talking about, the people with building skills, is that there were also people that looked a lot like African Americans who said they may have been here so long, they were probably just identifying as wherever the heck they're from. Hmm? And a lot of those guys, how could you tell who was a? Obviously, you may have been able to tell by the kind of culture in a person had and how they carry themselves and stuff. But there were quite a few, you know, for all practical purposes, people that were just as black as the folks that were brought over on the slave ships, good or bad, needed to stop it. But they were enjoying their slave ownership just like anybody else. North, south didn't matter. And hell, if you ask them where they're from, they're probably going to tell you, somewhere in this landmass, in between the squiggly lines around the border, we call uh, USA or America nowadays. Okay, borders are a fictitious idea. They're fiction. Okay, we pass that on to one another. We share the belief. This is a border. When you cross it, you're in another state. Okay, that's not knowledge. That's something you don't test. Okay, we should just point that out once in a while. There are things that we don't test because you can't. You can't prove that's a Wisconsin over there or that's Illinois over there. Now, if somebody says something to you about having been, entering Illinois and having arrived in Illinois, it could be that they have some truth to what they're saying, but not the kind of truth that you can stand on and call knowledge. It is only a belief. We get a little gray area allowable in our books that we hand out to people, things that we teach in school or things that we get tested on in our banking style education. Yeah. Very rarely will you ever get tested in school about what is real and what is belief, or what is knowledge and what's belief. And man, what a what a 5 or 10-year-old might do with that. Uh, it would probably give a lot of those teachers so much grief that they, as entertaining as darling as it might have been to witness some of the things that young people come up with, maybe even to become the teachers themselves in a lot of cases, possibly in maybe doing a better job of it. for lack of boilerplate memorization or whatever you want to call it. There's some things that we missed. It's not because they weren't good. It's just that no one put it in your book. It's kind of like, man, I hate to insult the Bible. I'm not at all. I think that there's some things that we don't understand in this world, and one of them is stuff we call God. A lot of people do a pretty good job of picking up that sort of vibe. Like, hey, man, I got God in my life. Like, how do you know? Well, I'm not dead. Like, how do you say it, man? Well, I mean, I got blood beating through my veins. I ain't leaking. Like, fuck you want. I'm sorry for cursing, but like, not everyone can. Like, if you were raised in a family where you had a lot of spiritual activities, reading the Bible, studying it, go to church, just to get a real rounded, input there. These aren't bad things just because they're beliefs and not knowledge. All right. Now, some of this stuff is going to be uh, it's going to be a little bit more knowledge than we often might give it credit. If you really want to break it down, like the significance of the Hebrew alphabet, for example, like there's a there's an amount of weight for some reason that the Hebrew alphabet seems to carry above and beyond other alphabets, other languages. For some reason, they value the sounds of these words, the shapes of these letters, these characters, as if they might have more something or other. I mean, I don't want to say magic or power, man, because now we're getting off in the weeds where they kind of didn't write that book so you would have much to go by in terms of stuff like that. All right. But if you got in a circle and you said a prayer for something that was important to you and all the people in that circle, a lot of times you'd have the hair on the back of your neck stand up. Something happened there. And, well, you want to call it divine providence or some magical wave that passed over everybody, or maybe it was just a little cold breeze, um, to try to write it off as something more legitimate so as not to embarrass ourselves in front of our banking style science teachers and stuff. When they ask us what 25 cents is, you better hand over a quarter, buddy. Don't be trying to hand out change and all that. Okay, that's not science, at least not the one I got taught. And you know how we've been running our science recently up here in the old USA. Sometimes it almost seems like they planned to, with a more tuned up kind of science to get you with something and let you run the old version that you couldn't even see coming with. Man, son of a biscuit. I don't think biscuits have babies though, man. Really. No, never mind. Moving on. So, how a God fearing people, north, south, any color, like, how did they ever get to the point where they're like, yeah, man, why don't we just go ahead and start shooting at each other and kind of sort this out? Because I don't feel like talking anymore. At what point do they do that? That was like, oh, yeah, now this is probably about the time we do that, right? Like, what do they put that on their calendar? And sort of a little more formal than having a duel, for example. Like, you guys, I don't know why, but I just talked to the folks down the hall and you are dicks. Okay. You're not good guys. You're all going down. Like, we're not doing it now. Put it on your calendar. If you need a pen or a pencil, I got some up here. You just happen to know that I hope things go well for you because they may not. Like, fuck y'all mean. Oh, you're going to war, buddy. Well, thanks for letting me know, I suppose. Usually they call you a couple times before they do the real thing. I don't know if that's how they did it then, but when I got sent to Kuwait and Iraq, they gave me one phone call ahead of time. It's like, hey, this ain't the one, man, but you might want to act like it is. Like, well, is it or it isn't it? Like, just do it, man. Like, okay, okay. So, like, moved all my, just totally bonehead, didn't know nothing about being in the reserves or any shit like that. Sorry for cursing. Um, you know, ESGR. I can't remember what it stands for, but basically, if you're in the reserves or something and you get deployed, you're good to go. You know, drills, war, you come back, you get your job back. Like, oh, sweet. You know, like, maybe I can get this done without having to do what the guy at karaoke said the other day. 'Cause I don't really feel like killing some Iraqis, and I don't know which ones I'd kill, even if I wanted to, or found one that was bad. This is bullshit. Okay, I honestly, thinking back at it though, if I could have just, as sad as it sounds, man, if I could have just looked through the crosshairs and counted one and been done, that might have been a lot cooler. I would have been maybe a little cooler working that out and praying for that soul than trying to put together exactly how many may have life force may have been extinguished in terms of from their you know candle their apparatus whatever they draw their oil through and stuff. Um, and I don't mean to be that funny about it, but hey, dark humor does help for real. There's a lot of things that are damn shames. One of them is that we didn't get the whole book. We didn't get the whole understanding of stuff that we could have. Even if people want to get salty about it, you know what? We are people that have been brought up not to handle the whole truth. You know, even if I don't know that we need it to be honest with you. And even if they come out and say, for the first time in so many generations, so many years, we've got a generation that I believe might be able to handle the whole truth. Like, no, 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 no. Handle is one thing. Having to be told is another. You don't just go hauling off telling the whole truth to anybody you feel like. And if you think that's necessary, you know, I don't know if you're the real Slim Shady, but it's okay, dude. Sit down. Okay, and don't be telling nobody nothing. Unless you're sure they need to know, like, hey, your fly's down, or hey, your shirt's on fire, or something like that. Like stuff that would matter. Or your boogers hanging out your nose. Don't let that stuff go. Okay? Don't make a big scene of it either. Don't want to humiliate a guy or something. That could set him off too. All right. You just never know where a person's coming from, what kind of history they have, what might upset them in an odd way that you wouldn't imagine. And man, if you could ever try to string yourself together some moral injury kebabs, if that was ever a thing, man, that is not something that makes your mouth water when it's coming off the grill. That's like burning everything but the stuff you want to be cooking for any part of any meal. Okay. And when it hits you, it's like boom. And you're like, oh shit. Like, I don't need to ask what the fuck this is. Like, I'm not telling you. Like, fuck you mean you're not telling me? Shut up. I'm not telling you. Dead ass. And if I was ever the age where I started to tell you, I know better now. Hear me? Just because you got the truth and you don't tell it, that don't make you a liar. It makes you a guy with sense in his body. Okay? And if you don't practice the use of sense like that, you may not be a gentleman or a lady. Okay? So keep that in mind next time you feel like telling the truth. Not everyone that asks for the truth knows whether it's going to be good or bad to hang on to. Because once you get it, you're going to walk that shit to the end of the road, buddy. All the way. You understand? And I don't mean to scare anybody or discourage them from carrying whatever they see fit to carry to the end of the road. Right? I think if you want to carry every damn answer you ask a question to, well, you're going to have to no matter what. You ask and you get the answer. Hopefully they're right ones. Hopefully they are right ones. Okay? And hopefully you got something better bubblegum to chew. This Bazooka Joe shit with the fucking comics around that dried ass gum, man. I'm getting real tired of that stuff, man. Okay? Some Laffy Taffy might come good, come handy, but try to get some like a cooler or something so it don't melt all over the place, right? I want to be able to read the jokes too. All right. Once in a while, if the candy melts, we can always make our own jokes up. Hopefully about something a little bit less heavy than the answers we carry. Yeah? Yeah. And if you got light answers, consider yourself lucky, pal. Hey, some people do get a light hand answers. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Hey, if your life's going good and things are going right, thank God, grateful, all the things. You know what I mean? And if you haven't today, go ahead and do it because nobody's going to do that but you. And I think the universe likes it when you tell them stuff like that. Like, hey, man, I just want you to know that this pleased me in ways that might not have been perceived by any eyes on the wall or anything like that. Like, well, Brian, can't really answer you verbally, but if you can imagine, we could. Uh, yeah, thanks for the heads up, bud. We'll make sure to piss in your weenies harder next time. Just joking, joking, joking. Hey, don't eat them things, would you? I know they got that Michael Jordan guy on the box. He don't eat them things. I hope you know that, right? No, they're real bad for you. And I'm dead ass serious. I'm not joking around like a clown. Don't eat your Wheaties, man. Don't get mad at me. I'm sorry, guys. If you don't know by now, Wheaties aren't good for you. You should really stop. If, a matter of fact, if you're studying about intermittent fasting or anything like that, please forgive me, Wheaties people. You know, some people are still going to eat them things religiously, even though you can look it up right now. I think I said some of the same thing the other day. Any culture of people that has a number of folks that have not gotten the memo about the 2012 shift in the whatever that food pyramid thing was, they throttled back a little bit. Okay. Like, hey, man, all that stuff you got at the bottom of the food pyramid, eating all that wheat and grain and stuff, sprayed up with that herbicide and all that. Hey, man, you may want to cut some of that out. Like, why? Why? Look, I'm eating my Wheaties. I ate like 2, 3 bowls and hundreds on the side of the box, man. Look at winning. If you want to win at the end of the day, I suggest you throttle back on them things and you don't have to know why. Sound good? All right, I'll see what I can do. I mean, I don't know what your problem is. My problem is I know what the hell it'll do to you. And if you don't stop eating them, it'll be done to you. Okay. Well, do you want to stick needles in your arm every time you get something sugary? Not particularly. Okay, well, stop eating your Wheaties. Matter of fact, skip breakfast. It'll be a healthy meal full of air. You just breathe through your nose and shut your mouth, drink some water. Healthy breakfast. The whole concept of a complete breakfast, a part of a, complete breakfast, like let's not just eat one thing. Let's not just have like a protein rich, cup of skim milk or collagen protein or something like that if we're lucky. Okay. Because that's going to coat your stomach after that long fast over 14 hours or so. You want to start caring about what you throw at your tummy right away. I guarantee it's not every damn bit of freaking every food group on that side of the box in the picture talking about juice and milk and freaking toast. And I mean, dude, I promise you, those guys were freaking witch doctors if they were calling that in the picture healthy. At any point in time, the research was done. I don't know for sure, but I'm almost positive they knew then. As soon as they printed that on the side of the box, forgive me, man, whoever puts that word up there on that box. But I'm telling you, it is not good. And if you think it is, don't kid yourself. I like Wheaties too once in a while. I like mine with raisins. It don't make them healthier, man. And let me tell you why if you don't know, okay? And we'll get on with it. I'm just going to shut it off today, man. I'll play you one song. If you got a request, you can always toss one in. Whispers and Wonders joined. Wondering what it's all about. Well, apparently somebody's making some kind of fool of himself, and it ain't you. So thank goodness. But let's try to be a little smart here. If you're eating Wheaties, you need to stop that shit. Okay, there's something called worse than gluten. Even one of the most toxic things you can get out of the bottom of the food pyramid for one reason, a very good one, a good one. Wheat germ agglutinin is the part of wheat that so closely emulates your insulin, okay, that when it's, floating around in the body like normal random ass stuff does, wherever it goes and whatever it does, um, it will slip right into that keyhole that the insulin goes to open up the cell to say, "Hey, man, you want to let this sugar in and go ahead, do your little mitochondria, freaking battery charge, ATP to AD, however it goes, ADP to ATP, recharging your muscles, batteries, and all the different things your cells need energy for." I'm sure that's important for some reason. Okay, heart's beating, lungs moving, yeah. If you get the wheat germ agglutinin in that keyhole, so to speak, it won't come out. Okay. It's like if you went and took, uh, some weird, cement and you just smeared it in all the dang keyholes walking down the parking lot as if somehow that was going to be a good idea today to let everybody in their car because it fit right the same way the key did. And it never came out. And literally, it was if you had to, it was as if you had to junk the car to get that damn keyhole to fit another one. You hear what I'm saying? That's apoptosis, right? But literally, like, you couldn't just part it out. Maybe on your car, you might be that lucky, but in terms of cells, you're not getting more energy out of that cell until that cell dies. A new one takes its place, and you stop eating Wheaties. Food for thought. Grape nuts too. Sorry. So, thanks for listening. I hope you guys something out of this. I really would like to do a little bit more homework to try to enrich these, you know, clown show type mockumentaries. I'm not gonna get too hard into that stuff because I know we got some real things to talk about, and if we can man to man, just lay it on the table and say that's what it was. That's there it is. If you can find any reason why it wasn't, or help me understand more about how it was, I encourage you to do so. If you think I'm putting some in a light that may or may not be the most becoming of a guy trying to help people out understand things that might be good to understand, yeah, please don't hesitate. Hit me in the DMs. I'm not gonna come calling you out in the middle of 100 people, and I'm sure you're not gonna do that to me either. But if you want to tell me I'm being some kind of guy that I could improve on a little bit, first of all, I'm not a total moron. I imagine there's probably a number of things I can come at you with as far as what I know I could improve. But as far as the stuff that you pick out that I might not have seen, in all seriousness, don't ever feel like you can't bring it up. I don't care what it is, man, because it ain't a real productive talk. If you just got a guy talking in one of them, we're having a productive talk, type voices. And then when he turns around, he gets an email from you. He's making funny faces because you got some shit to say. Fuck that. Okay. That's not how it's going here. And if that's how it's been for some other people somewhere else, hey, refreshing. Have a fresh drink, man. It ain't like that here. It won't be. I promise. And if you're gonna be like that, you can participate in the conversation. Please do. Just understand this ain't no community of scholars. This is more like a barrel of monkeys or a clan of clowns. And you're not gonna tell us how to be, man, because we got jokes. And we might laugh at you if you're not careful, or we might laugh with you if you're a good guy or whatever. You know what I mean? I don't know. I don't have a very good sense of humor to pick everybody's jokes out all the time. So you're gonna have to help me know when it's time to laugh, man. I'm like the guy that's laughing alone in the movie theater. Like, oh, that wasn't. Oh, okay. Oh shit. Well, I thought it was funny. Anyway, thanks for listening. If you've got anything else, yeah, please share. If you got any requests, parts of this history picture that seem to be accumulating on the table, that puzzle we're all trying to put together and see what's good about. Um, I don't know if you noticed, but I started calling the Civil War World War Zero because of the global implications that it had on a lot of things. Um, and for now, I'm going to keep on doing that because I believe that is constructive to understand the bigger picture. I'm a very, bird's eye view kinda guy when it comes to stuff like this. And for those of you that missed, the first episode yesterday, we did cover a number of things that I felt were, pretty important to hit on. About the only things I remembered out of Doom's class anyway. But that was the really important stuff to me, and I really mean, like, he put so much stress on it. Obviously, there's a thing he wanted us to take with, and it must have been at least 1 or 2 of them things. So thanks a lot, man. And also thanks again to Sarah for, getting me started on that Pedagogy of the Oppressed book. As you can see, I've, expanded my reading list, and if you're not aware yet, I went to Madison College here. I had, Sarah Johnson as a professor. Also, it convinced me to go be a peer tutor in the Writing Center and all that, learn about teaching and pedagogy and all this shit. It just sort of it all unfolded in this guy in quite a major way for the good. So I have to give you guys more of that later. In the meantime, be good. Have a nice day, man. Peace.